you ever been watching an NFL game and every time your favorite quarterback takes off and runs, you are yelling at the TV, "Get out of bounds"? Well, I assume for Baltimore Ravens fans, they yell at their TV more than any fan base in the league. That's because Lamar Jackson has the most carries of any quarterback in the NFL. He is the most hit quarterback in the NFL. This is exactly why he needs to get out of Baltimore. Hear me out. It's year 5, and yes, he has an MVP under his belt, but I think that the coaching staff is holding Lamar Jackson back. They don't let him throw the ball as much as they should. If you're a Bills fan watching this video, you are very familiar with the Greg Roman offense. Whether it be Colin Kaepernick in 2012, Tyrod Taylor in 2015, now Lamar Jackson, he has had mobile quarterbacks and he has utilized their legs. Maybe a little too much. Greg Roman could very well run Lamar Jackson into the ground these next couple years in Baltimore. As I alluded to earlier, Jackson takes the most hits of any quarterback in the NFL, and I think that leaving Baltimore would be in his best interest if he wants to have a long career. As a fan, I would like to see how Jackson does in a pass-heavy offense.
I'd rather throw than running.
As of now, Baltimore is running an offense more suited for the 1960s than 2022. When you have a superstar QB, you cannot do that. I know he is at the Michael Vick level of rushing quarterback. He is elite in that area. But Michael Vick didn't have a long career, and if the Baltimore Ravens aren't careful about this,
neither will Lamar Jackson.
Although he may not be able to sling it as effective as Josh Allen, they need to let him throw the ball more. For those of you who aren't familiar, Lamar Jackson does not have an agent. He represents himself. It is up to him when he wants to talk contract, and apparently as of now, he has no interest in doing so with the Ravens. Now, I am not saying he's not interested in coming back to the Ravens, but every time somebody on behalf of the Ravens is interviewed and asked this question, the answer is always the ball is in Lamar Jackson's court. Jackson is betting on himself this season, much like Joe Flacco did in the 2012 Super Bowl winning year. But I am not yet convinced that Jackson is committed to re-signing with Baltimore. Now, I am well aware that this wouldn't be the best look if he decides not to play. I think this year, no matter what, he is playing with the Ravens, but next year, it might be a different story. If they decide to franchise him in the 2023 season, I think we are in for some drama in Baltimore. Every offseason, something pops up. We saw a handful of receivers flex and get moved this offseason. Next year, at this time, I would not be surprised if we're talking about Lamar Jackson. If I'm Jackson, I'm gonna want Josh Allen money. And although he has an MVP title to his name, he is not as good as Josh Allen.
That's just the facts.
Now, he's great, he's an elite quarterback, but his team isn't putting him in position to succeed in the passing game. If I'm Lamar, I'm going into these conversations saying I want to get paid a similar amount as Josh Allen, and I don't think the Ravens value him that high, judging by the way they play him. Watching the Baltimore Ravens from afar, it seems like they want to utilize Jackson on his rookie contract. They want to control him with the franchise tag. They do not want to give him a long-term deal because they do not think he's going to stay healthy long-term. That's not entirely his fault. Maybe we could potentially see a Lamar Jackson for Kyler Murray trade next offseason. We'll see how it shakes out, but the facts are this. Lamar Jackson is 27-7 as a starter in the NFL, and if I were the Baltimore Ravens, I would modify my game plan to pass more, protect this quarterback, and give him a bag. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Am I crazy? Am I onto something? Also, do me a favor, if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot, and I will see you on the next one.